Let's start from the switchboard installation. You can find the switchboards under the electrical tab. Then you should assign the code. The code has to be unique, for example MP, and the description, main panel. Then you should choose the system. The system is chosen from the dataset, so you can add your own systems. Then let's set some dimensions, width, depth, height, and the elevation level. Then let's set some power units that will be later used in the calculations, the voltage and the expansion surplus. And also you can choose the earthing, for example this one. Then you can add some additional settings if it's necessary, but right now let's assign the symbol to the switchboard and we are ready for installation. Let's click OK. Then with the command line or with the context menu, or by simply typing the necessary letter from the keyboard, you can choose some good functionalities. For example, quick rotate. Let's install the switchboard here. And then you'll see the switchboard on the 2D view and also on the 3D view. Then if you choose the trays and conduits option, you can draw the trays. In the options dialog, you can set some settings. For example, you can choose the alignment, the position of the cable tray. Also, you can change the dimensions. You can change the dimensions also during the drawing. And then you can choose the product. Or you can create the new product. Or change some properties of the existing one. Let's start drawing. I'm going to draw the small vertical tray that goes directly from the switchboard. Then I'm going to take the top elevation from this switchboard. For this, I'm going to select this option. And then let's click at the switchboard. And as you can see, the top elevation right now is taken from the switchboard. Let's click OK. And to create the vertical piece of the tray, let's use the Z option. The top elevation will start from the top elevation of the switchboard, and then it will end at the height of 3000 millimeters, for example. And angle to horizontal will be just 90 degrees. Let's click OK, and then we can continue drawing. As you can see, the branch appeared automatically, this elbow. And also you can see that our cable tray appeared also on the 3D view. To continue the drawing, you can use the handles. Use the plus sign here, so you can continue. Also, you can start drawing directly from the elbow. For this, click at the plus handle. And then the elbow will be changed to the T branch. Also, let's remove this piece of tray for now. And also you have to delete the elbow. Then I can extend a little bit the cable tray with this rectangular handle, like this. And then let's choose some productivity tools, such as copy branch. Then I'm going to copy this branch. Then I'm clicking connect and I'm choosing the point of connection. You also can use the stretch segment to change the location. Then I'm going to continue drawing from this elbow. And right now I want to change the elevation of this cable tray. For this I'm choosing that option. And I also want to use angle to horizontal option with 45 degrees. The elevation will start from the 3000 millimeters, and then our cable tray will go to the height of 2400 millimeters. Let's click OK. And as you can see on the 3D view, there is the 45 degrees elbow. Let's continue drawing. And also during the drawing, you can change some settings, such as dimensions. For example, I'd like to make our cable tray a little bit bigger, like this. But also you can change the values, such as width and height of existing cable trays. For this, you should choose the change width or height option, and then you can separately choose the width or height or both of them, and then set the necessary value. Let's click OK, and then click at the cable trays where the values need to be changed. All the T branches will be changed automatically. Right now I want to show you the crossing tool. For this, let's draw the tray from this point, so that these two cable trays have the collision here. But with the crossing tool we can avoid this issue. Let's set the first and the second point of the crossing. Then let's click enter and choose the cable tray above or below which the crossing will be done. And then the crossing can be done above the cable tray, so the top level should be higher than the current. Let's update the preview. We can also change the angles, or also below. Okay, let's leave the crossing that goes above the cable tray and click OK. The crossing is done. Let's install electrical devices such as luminaries. Let's go to luminaries, and then here you can see different products listed from the dataset. But if you want to have more products, you can create the new one, or you can change the settings of the existing ones. Let's go to properties, and here you can see different settings that you can change. But I'm going to create the new luminary. You also can select the product with MagiCAD Connect. Different manufacturers are presented here. And let's choose this luminary. So here you can see some data such as dimensions. Let's install this luminary to the project. You can change the settings such as earthing, voltage, dimensions, and the default elevation. For example, it can be 2500 millimeters. Also, you can select the symbol. For example, this one. And also, if you can't find the necessary symbol, you can easily create symbol with MagiCAD Create Symbol functionality. Then let's assign the unique user code. And then let's click OK. And right now, the luminary is added to the dataset. Then you can choose the system, status, some additional settings. But I'm going to click OK. And let's start installation. In MagiCAD, you can install the luminaries and other equipment just one by one. Also remember that you can choose some good functionalities with command line, with context menu, or just with your keyboard, such as quick rotate, for example. But there is also a good array option. Just choose the number of rows and the number of columns. Then you can make the connections with cable between the rows or columns. And then you can select the necessary settings in the cable options, such as material, installation, status. Also, the presentation, it can be direct line segments like this or curved. And some additional settings. Let's click OK. OK, and right now I'm choosing the first point and the second point. And as you can see, all equipment is installed automatically right now. And of course, everything appeared on the 3D view. Let's install the sockets to the cable trunk. First of all, we have to draw the cable trunk. Let's go to Trace and Conduits, then to Trace option. Then let's go to Cable Tray options, and here I'm going to choose the following settings. The alignment is left, and also I'm choosing this type of swapping, cable tray bottom down. And also I'm going to choose cable channel product. These settings are necessary for me because I'm going to attach the cable trunk to the wall and the cable tray should be rotated. Let's click OK. And let's start drawing. Also, I'm choosing the elevation. 800 millimeters is fine. And right now we are ready for the socket installation to the cable trunks. So let's go to the socket menu. Here I'm going to choose to cable channel product. So it looks like this. Here you of course can change some settings such as dimensions, system, power supply, earthing, etc, etc. Let's click OK. And here I'm going to tick this option, use separate insertion point for 3D model. It's really necessary and nice because this helps to avoid overlapping of 2D symbol and 3D model. And also I'm going to choose the elevation of our cable trunk. Good. And we're ready for socket installation. And here I'm going to present this option that we ticked. First of all, MagiCAD suggests us to install the 2D symbol and only then the 3D model separately. Then let's install the second socket. I will place the symbol here, but the physical model here. And let's see how it looks like on the 3D view. Good. But I'm not satisfied with the height of this cable tray. Let's adjust it to the socket size. So if you double left click at the object, you can go to properties. And we need this dimension, 85 millimeters. Okay. Then let's go to trace and conduits. And let's choose change width or height. And I'm going to change the height. So it will be 85 millimeters. And also I'm going to adjust both sides. Let's click OK. And right now it looks better. Let's perform the switches installation. In general, the workflow is the same as for sockets installation. I'm going to choose this product, for example. And of course, you can change the necessary settings if you want. Then choose the elevation. For example, I'd like to set the elevation of 800 millimeters. Then I'm ticking the Use Separate Insertion Point for 3D Model option. And I'm ready for installation. So first of all, I'm installing the symbol and then the 3D model. And then I'm going to Options because I would like to install the second switch on the top of the first one. For this, choose over the top of functionality and then point the necessary object. Great. Let's click OK. Install the symbol and then the 3D object. And let's see how it looks like in the 3D view. Let's copy electrical devices such as sockets and switches to other rooms with the BricsCAD functionality. Now let's connect all the devices with the cables. For this, I go to Cables option. And here in the settings, you can see the same settings that we had when we installed the luminaries with array option. Here you can choose the system, the material. If you have many cables entities, you always can filter and find the necessary one. But I'm going to choose this one. Also some additional settings, presentation, routing preferences. Then I'd like to use the connection box on the cable crossing. You have some options for selection here. And let's start drawing. To complete the drawing, push Enter. And then if you want to make the same action again, you can push Enter or the space bar. And as you can see, the connection box appeared. Like this. And the wire connection tool is intended for 2D symbols connection, first of all. That's why the wires can look a little bit strange on the 3D view. But still, these cables can be used in the bill of materials. And also, this small difference doesn't matter that much. Let's continue the device connection. If you want to continue the drawing from the cable box, use the plus handle here. Then let's connect the sockets to the cable. I will use the separate circuit for the sockets. Let's go to cable options, and here I'm going to choose the socket system, and also this time I'll choose direct line segments presentation direct. I also would like to choose the sockets elevation like this. Okay, then let's draw the wire. And right now I'd like to show you how the connect devices feature works. So here you can choose the type of connection. For example, this one. Let's click OK. Then you should choose all the devices that should be connected. Click Enter and then choose the cable. Now we can create the circuits and connect them to the switchboard. There are different ways how you can make this. The first way, you can choose the circuit option. And here you should choose the necessary settings such as circuit number, also circuit type. You can enter the description, also choose the phase, the switchboard. Also, you can choose the default schematic symbol and the symbol for the drawing, the cable type. And as you can see, the circuit is created and connected to the switchboard. Remember that you always can change the cable type if it's necessary. Double left clicking, product, and then here you can change the cable manually. Then the tag is changed. If you want to change multiple cables, you can do this with the special change properties functionality. And the second way how you can create the circuits and then connect them to the switchboard is through the cable pockets. In the options, you can choose the system, status, also some drawing preferences, whether the corners of the cable pocket will be sharp, rounded, or beveled, also the elevation. Let's start drawing from the switchboard. For this, click at this plus handle. Then here you should choose the system and the cable type. And right now we are ready for drawing. Then let's make the riser and let's choose the elevation. And then you'll see on the 3D view the process of drawing. And then if you double left clicking, you will see that the cable pocket is connected to the main panel, to our switchboard. And now we are drawing the second row of the cable pocket. And then let's connect it to the previous one. And it's also connected to the main panel. And now we can connect the rest of the devices to the cable pocket. For this, let's continue drawing the cable from the connection box. Click at the plus handle for this. And then let's make the connection. Then the circuit information window appears. Let's add the circuit number, then the circuit type, it's the lighting, also phases, the switchboard, cable, and default schematic symbol. And let's connect the devices in other rooms. The design is ready. You can add some tags, for example, to cables with the text option. Here you can see some tags. You can create the new one, edit the existing one. You can find the parameter here and then add it to the tag. Then let's start tagging. And MagiCAD automatically will calculate the number of cables. Let's also create some tags for the luminaries. Also, you could create the tags automatically while installation. For this, you should go to the properties of the luminaries. But I'll choose here the special tag from the list. Okay. Also, you can add some tags automatically. For this, let's go to automatic text option. Here you should choose the tag. Then you can change the distance from device insertion point. For example, this dimension will be 300 millimeters. Okay, then I'm going to tag everything on the current drawing from the part types, luminaries. And everything is automatically tagged. Right now, I would like to show you the collision control functionality. For this, I'm going to create the collision on purpose. So I will draw the second tray that will cross the existing one. Let's start drawing. And then I'm taking the elevation of this cable tray. Okay. And then I'm going to draw the second cable tray that won't cross the existing one. It will be a little bit higher. So something like this. Let's go to collision control. Then right-clicking, let's move to the options. And here you can choose the objects that will be checked for collisions. Then you can select the tolerances. So even if the objects won't have the collision, like the hard collision, the MagiCAD will show that there is the soft collision and the distance between two objects is smaller than tolerance. Also, you can show collision between MagiCAD objects and BricsCAD objects, AEC objects, XREF objects. Then show the first point and the second point. So in this area, the collision control will be performed. As you can see, MagiCAD found two collisions. Let's mark all. Then MagiCAD will show you the collisions with the yellow crosses. And then you can solve the collision issue, for example, with the crossing tool. Now I would like to show you the bill of materials creation. Let's go to project, and here you can see all the report templates listed. You can create the new templates or you can edit the existing one. You can choose the necessary properties that will appear in the report, or you can delete the properties. Then let's go to reports, bill of materials. Here you can choose the report template. For example, we are going to create a report for cable trays. Then you should choose the range. I'm choosing the current drawing. Then choose the systems for which the report should be created. Then I'm clicking OK. And the report is done. So you can see the length of the cable trays, all the bands and T branches are listed.